Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I am Dave Grendzynski, and I am your host of this little show that we do every single day here on YouTube, where we provide a little update on some of the news that is happening and is tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, but then we also share our opinion on said news. We call them takes. So we like to give you our take, and then you also get to give your takes as well. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes and who has already subscribed to the channel. We're getting there. Like, this is 7,000. The number we're getting there. 7,000 subscribers with insights. We can see it. And then everybody who, as I just mentioned, gets into the viewer comments and gets their takes out there. Make your voices heard. Get down there in the viewer comments. Now, coming up, oh, by the way, got to remind you, the meeting's over. The membership, you can find the link in the show description. And so this is going to be a great way for me to really get to interact with those of you who like watching our little show each and every day, because we're going to do members-only live streams. We'll do that. We'll have exclusive content. We already have a couple of ideas planned for exclusive content, and just lots of little things that we'll do. It's going to be, it'll be a fluid situation week to week. If you remember the exclusive things that we'll be putting out, but that's all going to start here. We're going to try and get some of the exclusive content going. Hopefully next week, maybe the week after. But once we get going, we got to get our little schedule going, but we got to add it to what we're already doing here. And we'll also have some public live streams, especially when we get closer to these games and things. So a lot of things going to be happening. Davey Boy's going to be busy coming up here, starting in August, I'd say, with our little show. But on today's show, more proof that it's only fitting that Myles Garrett is the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. But what Browns fans need to take away from this is what's really important. A Cleveland radio talk show host makes a statement that just got my blood boiling. I came across two pictures of Cleveland Browns players that illustrate both ends of the spectrum of what summer break is all about in the NFL. And then down in the viewer comments, we have a bold prediction on just how long Joe Flacco will last as QB1. But first things first, the list of the top edge rushers heading into the season is out. And this is not some talk show host or writer or somebody. This is a poll by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler of NFL executives, scouts, coaches, you name it. These are people that are in the league voting here. So these are people in the know. And guess what? Sitting there right at the top of the list is Myles Garrett, our own Myles Garrett of our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. TJ Watt second, Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, Nick Bosa, Trey Hendrickson, Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, and Jared Verse on the top 10. Josh Allen Hines from Jacksonville and Brian Burns from the Giants were the only two players who didn't stay on the list from last year. They were knocked out by Anderson and Verse. So they're out and they're in. But let's get back to Myles Garrett. Listen to what these executives. So this is an unidentified NFL coordinator talking about Myles Garrett, who said, there's a short list of guys you have to shift your fronts to, and Garrett is the first person you think of when it comes to how much of your game plan he occupies. Every single second on the field, you know what he's doing or what he might do next. He had 14 sacks last year, and he is obviously somebody everybody pays attention to, coordinators included. But then it did stop there. So not only did the coordinator, we had this unidentified NFL evaluator that ESPN's Jeremy Fowler talked to, and he said, this is talking about Garrett. Garrett has significantly refined his overall game over the years. A good tackle used to be able to give him problems, but that's less and less the case now. He's more consistent with pass rush. And listen to this, folks. So they have Garrett. He earned a 70% of the first place votes for this. And he has reached what they call a get off time of 0.70 seconds. That is tied for the fastest among edge rushers with at least 200 pass rushes. It resulted in 40 quick pressures, which means he got to the quarterback in under 2.5 seconds. And that ranks second in the NFL. So, and we see it every week, folks. I mean, he does. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody get off the ball faster than Myles Garrett. He really, I mean, but the problem is he's getting double and triple teamed. And so that's why, like, the 14 sacks, like if he went mano a mano on a tackle every week, he'd probably have 34 sacks because that's how good he is, you know? And this is what we have to take away from this, folks. Like, and I know I said I wouldn't have signed him for the biggest contract in history because I feel like he's on the back nine of his career, but I do also think he should have another couple, 2-3 years in the tank. But here's the thing. We have to appreciate just how good this guy is. I mean, you know, we usually don't do it until after he's gone. This reminds me of Joe Thomas, right? When we had him over there at left tackle because we never really won anything, you know? And so Joe Thomas just goes out there and dominates at left tackle. And then now look at us. We've been trying to find a left tackle forever. Like, I just feel we don't want to end up in the same boat with Myles. Like when he does retire and move on and gets ready for Canton, you know, we could be in the same situation on the other side of the ball, you know, looking for an edge rusher that even comes. We're going to compare every other edge rusher to him that we bring in here. And he is just so good, so elite. Definitely the one of the, like, I'll have to go and look what the draft picks we didn't miss on. But a number one overall pick that we did not miss on for sure. He has just been phenomenal, and the league has taken notice. Now, one thing that I took notice of was this statement made by a radio talk show host whose name is Nick Wilson. Now, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's on 92.3 The Fan. And they're talking about the Browns in the upcoming season. And what I didn't like is what he said about his expectations for the 2025 season. He says, to me, this year is about taking the medicine and next year's about being competitive again. And competitive can look anything like 6 to 7 wins or up to 10 wins. In 2026 week 1, you could have a different head coach, GM, and starting quarterback. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Nick Wilson. This is the loser mentality we have to get rid of. This is the problem. Why would you just completely discount this season when we have the most talent in the quarterback room across the board that we've had in years? And you're just going to get, and this defense, the way we just told you we had the top defense that we got. This is all about getting to the quarterback on defense, and we got the guy who does it best in the league. We've added to it. We've got Mason Graham. Like, the way this defense is set up, and now we're going back to Stefanski's offense, and we got quarterbacks who are perfect for Stefanski's offense. Like, how could you possibly say that? Like, how do you get that? That's not a Browns fan. If you are saying things like that, you are not a true Browns fan. I already bet them over 6.5 wins. You know what? The 10 wins are coming this season, folks. Nick Wilson, man, I'm sorry. Sure, you're a nice guy, but man, I'm sorry. You are just, maybe you're just trying to get people to call in. I don't know, but that is, to me, that is the biggest loser mentality statement you could be putting out there as a Browns fan. Like, unbelievable. Again, that whole, it's about next year. It's about next year. No, that has to stop. It has to be about this year. And this is the year we start to turn this whole thing around. This is going to be the year when we're in the new stadium and we're hoisting that Super Bowl trophy. We're going to say, this is where it all started. When Dave Grendzynski on Browns Latest said, in that one hot summer day in July, this is where we're going to look back on this day and we're going to say, boy, Nick Wilson was wrong. Dave was right. Maybe not, but you just never know. But all right, now speaking of hot summer days, now listen to this. Like, I found a couple of great pictures of Cleveland Browns players doing the complete opposite of what you expect from NFL players during their summer. I mean, this is it. Their summer break is now, and they're all working out. But what's great is so the first picture that pops up on Twitter is Jerry Jeudy. He's out at the Chad Johnson Wide Receiver Workshop. This is an annual thing that Chad Johnson does. They're down in Miami. This is Ocho Cinco, of course. He brings all the wide receivers together, and they do training and skill development, and they also do some knowledge sharing. Now in this picture, Elijah Moore, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Robbie Chosen, Anderson, Jaden Reed, Cortland Sutton, Xavier Restrepo, KJ Osborne, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Ohio State Buckeye, Jamar Chase also in there along with Jerry Jeudy. And so Judy's getting the work in. We saw Shedeur doing it. All these guys are getting their work in. We're just not everybody's on Twitter and Instagram and this and that, So I'm sure all the quarterbacks are doing their thing along with Shedeur. But and I'm sure all the wide receivers are doing. We heard great things about Jamari Thrash doing everything he can possibly do off the field before OTAs and minicamp, and so that's all just going to lead him right into training camp. But this was great to see. So this is one aspect of summer break for an NFL player, right? You got to put in the work. But then here's the other half. This was crazy. I randomly stumble upon Jerome Ford live streaming on TikTok. I think he's playing Call of Duty. I'm not up on that. I'm more of a Madden, college football, NBA 2K kind of a guy. So I don't really play a lot of those types of games. Golf, I like the EA Sports. I like the golfs and all those. I'm more of a sports video game guy, but yeah. So it just was completely random. I'm on TikTok and there he was. He's streaming and he's playing and he's interacting with fans. He didn't answer my question, but I won't hold it against him. That's cool. But I love Jerome Ford. I've loved him since we got him, and I've said for years, I've told my buddy, we misuse him. We don't use him the right way, and so. But he's still with us. I mean, he took Nick Chubb's spot, but yeah. But summer break, that's how it is. You're working and then you're playing in the evening. And so Jerome Ford and Jerry Jeudy showing us that. Now, one thing that is never on summer break, of course, is our viewer comments. And today we'll start with Graham's 7914, who says the Browns GM and front office has financially hamstrung the organization. Talent acquisition and retention budgets are negligible, ? Well, here's the thing. From a budget perspective, what really screwed us was the Watson thing. But we're recouping some of this. We're getting it back. And by next year, we could have like $39 million to the good in cap space. So, I mean, for as bad as it was, I mean, the future is... I'm not going to say it's so bright you have to wear shades, but there are brighter days ahead. So that's one of the things Barry has been pretty good at, is the money and getting these contracts done, and even signing guys, like Chubb, getting him signed to that contract that instead of waiting and having to pay like a Saquon Barkley type contract, he got him early, but of course the injuries did him in. But things like that, like the Guardians do the same thing where they'll lock a guy down, for potential. It's usually less money. And then see what happens. Like if they feel like the guy's going to be good. They did it with Andres Jimenez, who's great defensively. He just can't hit. And some other guys. But you roll the dice. You take the gamble. And so Graham 7914, great take. Got me thinking. All right, it's Jarej 78. And this is what we teased at the top. He says, Flacco is not making it through the first 5 games. And so I can't disagree with that, because whether it's injury or, like we talked about in a previous show, I mean, if he picks up where he left off in Indianapolis, it's not going to be good. The interceptions he threw and this and that. So hopefully getting, the Stefanski offense will help him. He's more comfortable in it maybe. I don't know. But that is, it's not that bold a prediction. But I think there's a really, and Pickett's the same way because he gets hurt so much. So even if one or both of these guys start to, the first part of the season, there is absolutely no guarantee they'll be there because of their history, whether it's throwing picks or getting hurt. So we'll see. Now, Visible ID, I like the way he's thinking. He just says, we're on to Cincinnati. Yeah, that's where we're at this point. As soon as training camp starts, we're running downhill to that first game against Cincinnati. And so we are almost there. Nalvolia Brown, 32-27. She just simply says, "Go Cleveland Browns." I love it. I love it. But that's the mentality. When you get to mid-July, end of July, like, yeah, it's all about the season now, folks. This is where we've turned a corner. We're heading towards the season, and we'll end it with this. Denise, I said it, says, "I wish your titles were more descriptive." Well, I'm limited on space. I try to, originally fan art want us, they want us to go like one line across. I'm like, I can't do that because I talk too much. And so I went with the double lines. And so I feel like I had good line placement. Sometimes I don't get the line placement so good. If you look at somebody, but I think today's line placement is good. And but anyway, I try to give you a little. But here's the thing, Denise, I said it. It's supposed to act as a tease to keep you around, so you can see. Oh, picks from summer break. What's he got? That's what that's what we're going for here. In the business, we call it a tease. So, but I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate the take. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for today's show. Thanks so much for watching. Go Browns! We will see you next time.